Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into the latest from Retter Reboot. That great newsletter for cutting through all the AI and tech hype. We've got some pretty big announcements to unpack. Our mission, really, is to pull out the most surprising bits, the stuff that really matters, and, figure out why it matters. So get ready. Lots happening.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And when you connect the dots, you really see AI moving pretty rapidly from being this sort of niche thing to being woven right into our everyday digital lives, how we work, how we talk to each other, even how we create things. It's everywhere.
Absolutely. Okay, let's start with the scale. OpenAI, they've just signed this colossal deal with Oracle Cloud. We're talking $30 billion multi-year and planning for 4.5 gigawatts across data centers.
4.5 gigawatts.
Massive.
That's a huge number.
It really is, like 4 big nuclear power plants worth of energy.
Right. And it just shows, the sheer energy footprint AI is starting to have. It's not just software anymore. This is serious infrastructure, a massive energy question, really.
So what does that kind of power, that kind of bet, mean for actual AI capabilities down the line?
Well, it signals this massive belief in exponential growth for AI. They wouldn't build it if they didn't expect to need it. But yeah, it also flags this growing challenge around energy demand. Where does all that power come from? It's a big question.
Okay, so massive scale on one end, but what about for, the average user? What's trickling down? Google's rolling out Gemini gems into Workspace. So Docs, Gmail.
Right. These are little personalized AI assistants you can sort of create yourself.
Exactly. Like tell it to draft follow-up emails from your notes or summarize meetings. Imagine the productivity boost.
Definitely. And for creators too, right? They've got VO3 out globally now.
Yeah, the AI video generator. Making high-quality video from just text prompts, that's becoming more accessible.
And what's interesting there, I think, is how these companies are trying to move AI beyond just a single chatbot you talk to. It's becoming more pervasive, tools embedded everywhere, trying to enhance what you're already doing, proactively even.
Speaking of proactive, Meta. They're apparently testing chatbots on Messenger and Instagram that can actually start the conversation with you.
Initiating contact.
Yeah. And they've also launched voice calls for businesses on WhatsApp, and they're testing AI product recommendations in the chat.
That's interesting. On one hand, super useful for businesses, maybe for users too.
Yeah.
But it does raise that question, doesn't it? Engagement versus, well, intrusion. Where's the
Yeah.
line?
Exactly. How much proactive help do we actually want from our tech? It feels like we're still figuring that out.
We are. It forces us to think about boundaries, how AI interacts with us and what feels comfortable.
So AI is getting personal, proactive.
Hmm.
But who pays for the content that trains these massive models? Cloudflare's making noise about this, pushing for AI firms to actually pay for the web content they scrape for training data.
Right. And that reflects this growing tension, doesn't it? About data use, fair compensation for creators. It signals we might be moving towards new models for how value is exchanged in this AI-driven digital economy. Sustainability is key there.
And maybe the biggest strategic shift, certainly for Apple users. Reports say Apple's considering letting Anthropic and OpenAI power Siri,
Wow. Okay, that is big.
bringing really advanced conversational AI potentially straight to your iPhone or Mac.
Yeah, and it shows even giants like Apple with all their resources are looking at partnerships to speed things up. It just highlights how intense the competition is and how specialized this advanced AI stuff has become. It's not easy to build in-house quickly.
Definitely. And just a couple of quick industry moves before we wrap up. Figma, the design tool company, is prepping for a huge IPO, aiming for like $1.5 billion. Shows investors are still hot on these creative tools.
Yeah, big vote of confidence there.
And Grammarly just bought Superhuman.
The email client. Makes sense. Integrating AI deeper into professional communication tools, that seems to be the trend.
It really does. Okay, so let's pull this all together. What's the big picture here? We've got massive infrastructure deals, AI getting super personalized, even proactive, and these big questions about compensation and partnerships.
I think the main takeaway is just how fast AI is weaving itself into, well, pretty much every layer of our digital lives, often in subtle ways,
Yeah.
It's becoming fundamental, almost invisible sometimes.
Yeah, it's not just a trend, it's really reshaping things. Well, we hope this deep dive gave you a bit of a shortcut to understanding what's going on out there, and for you, the listener, maybe something to think about. As AI gets more proactive, more embedded, how does our relationship with tech change? What new skills might we need, to really use it well and navigate this evolving landscape? Something to chew on.